Hi crafters, this is Crafty Sabby and I'm back today to do a little tutorial on these little embellishments that I had made. I did a video on some tags being created with that clear plastic window sheet and those butterflies, and towards the end of that video I just briefly showed these little embellishments, and they reminded me of the slides, the projector slides that we used to have, that used to have the film inside of them. And I just really liked that idea. I thought they were super cute. And some of them I hung, put it like a bullpen on so that you could hang them in your journals or, you know, on your pages or projects. And some of them don't. So kind of remind me of a stamp and a projector slide. So I just really like that idea. And the fact that you can see through it and the image is the same on both sides is really kind of neat. So I got a lot of people requesting how I made these, and so I'm sorry about the glare because it's the projector sheet there, the clear plastic sheet. But so yeah, I got some requests to make them, and so that's what I'm going to show you today. Okay, so we're just going to move these aside. And so just quickly, I'm going to go through some of the things that you might need before we start. And so today I'm going to use my punches. And you're going to need 2 size punches. A larger one, I believe this is a 2-inch, could be more. I'm not 100% sure because I didn't mark it, but... So this is like a 2.5, and then this is a 1.5. So this circle fits nicely inside of the circle when you cut it. And I also have this one. So sorry, this is from Recollections, this big one. And the other one is EK Success. And so same with these. This is about 1 3/4, and this is 1 1/4. And again, this is Recollections, and this is EK Success. So that's what I'm going to use today, but you don't have to. I made a whole bunch with just using a pair of scissors, and you can cut out a square, you can cut out circles or whatever you'd like. The only reason why I'm kind of using this punch in particular is because I like the sort of scalloped effect, but that's really the only reason. So if you just have your scissors, then go ahead and do that. The other thing that you will need is a piece of clear plastic sheet, acetate or whatever you call it. If you don't have that, you can go ahead and use your packaging, like old packaging that you have. That's fine too. So anything that you can see through, you will need whatever you have. You will need 2 pieces for each embellishment that you make. So there's that. You know, if you want, you can also use loop pins or bulb pins or whatever you have that you can use as a little hook. Then you go ahead and do that. If you don't have something like that, you can also go ahead and use a paper clip. And I'll show you how to get that on there just a little later, okay? Then you're going to need some cardstock or some paper. I'm going to use English Rose Garden, a couple of pieces out of here today. You don't have to use that. You don't have to use decorative paper. You could just use white cardstock if that's what you have, but anything that you have will work. So I'm just going to use those. And if you want to put that hole in to hang, like to put a pin or a paper clip inside of, you may need some little eyelets there. Also not a necessity. You can, you don't have to punch a hole. You may need your crocodile or something to punch a hole and set an eyelet with. And I use a little bit of distress ink just because I like to not see white around my edges. And if you have some sort of gems with sticky back, that is good too, because I put a little decoration there in the center of the butterfly. And then last but not least, these are the butterflies that I used for inside of these, and also for my tags that I had made. And I went through this before. I got these at our Dollarama here in Canada. I have seen them at Dollar Tree also, and a lot of you have said that you got them at Dollar Tree. So these are the butterflies. You don't have to use butterflies. You could use whatever you have available to you that you have two of, that you can put back to back and see through the clear sheet. It could be stickers, it could be something that you cut out from a paper pad, anything like that. You don't have to use these butterflies. This is just what I have. I have a lot of them, so I'm trying to use them. Okay, so I think in terms of what you need, that's about it. So we're gonna go ahead and make the first one. Also, don't forget some glue. This is the one I use. Whenever I don't use my hot glue gun, I use this, Aleene's Tacky Glue. I love it, and so that's what we're gonna use today. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start with this square punch here. And I'm gonna try to layer up two pieces so that I can cut two at the same time. I might just save a little bit of time if I can do it. So I'm gonna start with the littlest punch first, and I'm gonna punch those out. So that's what I've got now. And then I'm gonna go ahead and take the bigger punch, and this probably would have been easier with a bigger sheet of paper, but this is all I have left of this little blue paper, and I really like it. So what I'm doing is I'm just trying to make sure that it's centered in there, because you want it to be even. Okay, just like that, and then I'm gonna punch, there you go. Punch those out. And then that's what you're left with. Okay? So while we're here, we may as well cut out the circles also. So again, I'm just gonna cut myself out two pieces of paper. I'm just roughly doing this. There's no reason to be neat about it. Actually, this time I think I'm going to put them back to back. Okay, so you'll take your smallest punch and you're going to make a circle. Or sorry, punch out the circle for the center. Don't throw those away because those could be used for some other projects. And then we'll get the largest circle. And I'd like to center this as best as possible. So sometimes what happens is if you leave too much paper here, it doesn't center properly. Like, what I mean is you don't get a nice even, see how it's wider here? So I think that means I just got to trim down my paper a little bit. So that's what I'm just gonna trim a tiny little bit here. That. Put it back in. There we go. I think I'm happy with that. And we'll punch that out. And now I have 2 circles there. Okay, so that's it for the punching. Like I said, you could just easily use your scissors too. Draw yourself a shape and cut it out with your scissors. So now we have the back and front for a circle and a back and front for the square. Now we need a couple of pieces of clear plastic sheet here. Let's see. So that'll fit in there. I'm just cutting a second one for that. Doesn't have to be perfect, so those will be for that. And we need to... I tried to cut the window sheet with my punch, and it really became a little bit awkward. It didn't cut as nicely and as neatly as I wanted it to. So I'm just gonna cut some squares out roughly, and it's too big. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just needs to fit in there. I'll just cut down these corners a little bit. And that's perfect. So we'll cut this one down. I think in terms of difficulty, that might be the hardest part. So now what you're gonna do is we're gonna glue these down. Actually, before we do that, I just want to take a little bit of my distress ink, and you can totally skip this step, but I like to distress my edges a little, kind of give that a little bit more of a vintagey feel. And I just, I have both pieces in my hand here, so I have a thing about like the white showing. And then we could just do a little bit in there. Doesn't have to be perfect. And we might as well do this one. Now we're going to put our window sheet in really quick here. Now I'm just gonna say, be careful with your glue because it oozes out, and then if it gets on the window sheet, it's nearly impossible to clean up without making a mess. So I've done it a bunch of times. I had to rip the window sheet out and start again because it just creates a huge mess. So I'm even just pushing it down with my nail a little bit, and then once I put the butterflies in, we can sandwich everything together a little better. But for right now, we'll just loosely leave it like that. So let that dry up. And then we'll go ahead and do this one. All right. So that's that. You need 2 of butterflies or stickers or cutouts from your paper pad or anything that you have, but you need 2 that look virtually identical to each other, and you're going to put their back sides together with some glue. Just like this. Okay. So even these butterflies are not perfect. They don't exactly match. But I'm going to tell you something. I've already done this one, glued them together. So what I do is, they're too big for the windows. Actually, this one might fit in there just barely, but anyhow, I take my little scissors And I trim around the butterfly so that all the white is gone. So that little bit of white that you see and where it doesn't really match with the other side, I'm gonna actually trim them down. And then I also add a little bit of distress ink to take the white away, and they then fit a little better into the window. So I'll just show you what I mean really quick. I just follow the pattern of the butterfly and I trim down a little bit. You can see how much I take off. Not very much. Almost there. And it doesn't have to be perfect. So that's that. And then I just go around really quick with this. There. So I'll start this one and I'll kind of skip ahead and I will come right back and this one will be all done. Okay, so there's the other butterfly. I trimmed it all down. See, can't even tell. And I distressed the edges a little bit, okay? So those are done. So now the other thing that I do is I'm pretty sure that if you just put the butterfly in the square, it would be fine. But I like to be double sure, so I put a little dot of hot glue. You don't have to do this step right there in the center, just in case. And I only do it on one side. So just there, just a little dot. I'll put it in the window. And I don't bother with the other side. The other reason I'm not too concerned about if you can see the glue there or not is because I put a little gem there now. That's just about it. We're gonna glue this. Again, just being really careful. So you just want to spend a minute there, you know, pinching it closed just to make sure that everything is sealed up. And there's our little slide all done. Let's put the other one together while this one dries up a little and then we'll move on to the next step. So again, I'm just going to put a little glue in the center of this one. Like that. And we'll get a little bit more glue and seal it shut. Okay. There we go. And that looks super cute too. Okay. So we will get our eyelet here. Whoops, ready. What color are we going to use? Maybe gold. Yeah, I think gold. So you'll get your crocodile. Right at the top here, you have your little hole punches. This is the larger one, so you want go with the smallest one. And then pick a corner where you want your hole and go ahead and punch it. So we'll do that one, and I think we'll put this one on the top. So there. Easy. So we just put our holes in. There and there. Okay, and now we'll put our eyelets in. Okay, and you just give it a good squeeze. I never do it right for some reason, so see, mine is a little lopsided, but it's okay. Put this one in also. So then what I'm going to do is put some gems there in the center, little gems, and you can use whatever color you have. This is just what I had on my desk right now. And I put them in the centers. I'll put one down and then I'll show you of the butterfly there. I do one on this side and I do one on this side. Like that one. Okay, we'll do this one really quick. There. That one looks really cute. Okay, and then I have one paper clip. And I just looped it through. Just like that. Really cute. And or you could use a bulb pin or a loop pin, whatever you call it. Just like that. And then when you have your journal completed, you know, you can pin them on there, you know, on the sides, inside, on the pages, anywhere you'd like to embellish. They would look really, really cute. So I hope you guys will give it a try. I hope it helped a little for those of you who were asking. If you have any questions at all, just let me know in the comments below and I will answer your questions there. Thanks so much for following along. Hope you guys are all well. Take care. Bye-bye.